If you are elected, will you turn on the water to the Central Valley?
I've said this in my speeches several times. People are more important than fish. And, they've turned off that water for a reason. They do not want we, the people, they wanted to destroy us. And people need to understand that. They are trying to ruin our revenue. They are trying to ruin our environment. People are losing their jobs. I'm with Bill Hunt, who said it earlier. If they can throw me into jail, I am turning on that water.
Yes. And have you ever been a member of the CFR, Club of Rome, Trilateral Commission, or any of their roundtable groups or steering committees?
No, quite the opposite. In fact, I'm on the Homeland Security report, I'm pretty sure, because I endorsed Ron Paul and I voted for Chuck Baldwin.
How strongly do you feel about states' rights?
Oh, in fact, if you go to our website, nightingaleforgovernor.com, we have a whole page that's devoted to states' rights.
Okay. Will you refuse to enforce unconstitutional federal laws?
Absolutely. And we need some. Okay, the Founding Fathers made sure that the states had power over the federal government. The federal government has created tyranny. They have overstepped their constitutional bounds. So absolutely.
Now, the bad news is that time is running out. It used to be that I told people that about some of these problems, and they would say to me, it could never happen in America. You're just exaggerating, And now they say, how much time do you think we have left? Because you can see it. It's all around us. The New World Order is being built around us. We have a world army being built, a world court being built, a world taxing authority being built, a world trading authority being built. It's being built all around us. You realize right now, as we speak, over half of our standing military is now serving under foreign officers. This thing is going rapidly, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're running out of time. But the good news is, we still have time. We still have time, and we have the freedom to work. We can do it if we'll work like the Dickens, like our freedom and our lives depended upon it. They do. That's precisely what does depend on it. So instead of being sour about how late the hour is, we should rejoice over the fact that we still have freedom. We still can meet like this. We can hold public meetings. We still have elections. We can still throw these scoundrels out. So what we need to do now is just get to work and do that which we must do. We can still overthrow the government of the United States every 2 years without firing a single shot if we'll simply discharge the responsibility of citizenship, which comes along with being free men. So that's my message with you, ladies and gentlemen, and that is that whatever it is you plan to do for your freedom or your country, do it now. So the answer is, remember, there is no solution except to recapture the ship. If you think you're going to put it all into gold and silver and ride out the storm, that's not going to do it. You've got to recapture the ship. Now, getting back to the strategy, recapturing the ship. Don't be discouraged by small numbers. We do not need 51% of the population. We do not need 51% on board this ship, or even 51% of the voters. The majority never decides anything. We know that. Those who decide are the ones who lead the majority. That's the point of all of this. They do this by selecting the candidates, shaping the issues, and controlling the flow of information. They are the ones who hold the power. They comprise less than 1% of the population. All we need to do is look at the Council on Foreign Relations as an example. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our role model. That is how it is done. And that is how we are going to do it. Collectivism and freedom are mortal enemies. Only one will survive. Every one of us here today will be forced by events to make a decision. Doing nothing is a decision in itself. It's a decision by default. It is a decision that will put us into servitude. If you choose to stand for liberty, ladies and gentlemen, then Freedom Force awaits you. I'm going to close by telling you that the future is calling. It really is. Can you hear it like I do? I hear it every morning when I wake. I hear it all day long, and usually the last thing before I sleep. I hear the voices of my grandchildren and their grandchildren, and they call me by name. Papa, Papa, what are you doing? What's happening to our freedom? What are you doing for us? And in my mind's ear, I hear myself reply, hold on, hold on. I'm doing everything I can. Doesn't anyone else hear these voices? I wonder if the world is so deafened by the sound of cash registers and rock music and sporting events and sitcom laugh tracks that they cannot hear. Well, I have heard, and I have given my answer for all to hear. And now you would please me so much if you would add your voices to mine, so that together we can answer the future back and say, hold on, we are doing everything we can, and we will not let you down. Thank you.
We have seen their kind before. They are the heirs of all the murderous ideologies of the 20th century. By sacrificing human life to serve their radical visions, by abandoning every value except the will to power, they follow in the path of fascism, Nazism, and totalitarianism. And they will follow that path all the way to where it ends, in history's unmarked grave of discarded lies. Every nation in every region now has a decision to make. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
When freedom is lost, it is lost forever.
We are losing the right to make our own determinations about what we think, what we eat, how we protect our health, how we protect our children, and whether in fact we are members of a free and democratic society.
The purpose of education in America today is not education. It is indoctrination, in internationalism, in collectivism, and in atheism, and they're doing a wonderful job.
They have to destroy the United States Constitution and our way of life. And they've got to do so in such a way that will actually embrace it.
You have to get a hold of the minds of the young.
Why are we beginning to tread on our constitutional rights?
A globalist is someone who believes in globalism, and globalism essentially is the desire for one world government, one world military, one world economy, which on a broad philosophical basis may not be that bad. After all, we are one humanity living on one planet, but the problem is that we are being pushed into globalism by secrecy and by deceit, and nobody's getting a chance to actually consider the ramifications or consider the methodology that's being used to push us into this globalization. And that leads to the $64,000 question. Let's assume that these globalists, and they make no secret about their desire for one world economy, one world government, let's assume that they're successful. What is our guarantee that some new Hitler-like tyrant won't gain control of that worldwide mechanism. The driving force behind globalism is just plain old socialism. Because if they want to control every person in the world, if they're going to take care of you from cradle to grave, all of that requires central administration. And the wealthy elite who have the money and the power know that if they can create a one world global social system, that they can control the central authority. In other words, world control, world domination. One of the oldest desires in the history of the world, going all the way back to Alexander the Great.